Right, here we are. What a glorious day. We're in Greenwich Park in London. Neil, we've just had our coffees down here. It's fantastic catching up with guys who are really passionate about their cars. Neil is probably one of the most passionate people out there, way more passionate than me with his car ownership stories, and he's actually brought a stack of paperwork here and was kind to actually just talk us through some of the spec sheets. We were just talking in the car park that I bought my Cayman straight out in cash. That may not be the best thing to do if you want to basically buy a new car. It may not be the most cost-effective stuff for your money. And yeah, Neil was kind enough to sort of talk us through some of his history of his car ownership, and I'm just going to hand it over to Neil because this is his video, this is his story. So
thank you. So I'm sure there are people even watching the channel and thinking, oh, I'd love to get a Cayman, and really wondering how much it would be. Maybe you've checked out, but I think at times it can be unbelievably a little bit less than what you think it might be if you check out your options. And for example, so my history is in 2007 I got a black Cayman base, and the reason that brought me into my first experience of a Cayman was that the deal was so good. It was a 2-year deal, it was a lease deal, straightforward lease deal, 24 months, and it was £365 a month plus VAT. It was only £3,000 deposit, and that got me into a Porsche Cayman. Unbelievable. I couldn't believe that I was getting a Porsche Cayman.
That's news to me, that is really
unbelievable. At the end of that 2 years, I asked to extend. They wanted £900 a month. They'd made a mistake apparently on the residual.
Okay.
So I got the deal, I enjoyed it. At that point I went back into Tunbridge and went, really sad, I'm not going to have a Porsche anymore. And he went, what do you mean? And I went, you're going to be ridiculously expensive. Anyway, to fast forward, I came out of there with a silver Cayman S. I do remember that was a vehicle that was £52,000 in 2009. That was a 2009 model.
That's the same as mine then, yeah, Cayman S, yeah.
Yeah, and it was a 52 grand, and I know that I paid £5,000 down, and I know I was paying £595 a month for that. So that was a jump up from the 380 odd, give and take. But I was willing to go for it.
So just to get that clear, if you were to keep the previous car, they wanted £900 a month?
Yes, because apparently they'd made a wrong residual figure, Bank of Scotland at the time, and the only way they were willing to let it run on the agreement was at a higher amount.
Okay. So you got lucky on that one, probably.
So it was better to hand back 24 months and then drove out with a new Cayman S. Manual, lovely. So enjoyed that car. That was lovely. In 2012, I felt that I was under a little bit of pressure financially. I felt I didn't want to pay out £595 a month anymore. The Porsche dealer got the feeling of that, and so actually there's terms in your HP agreement. If you've paid 3/4 of the amount, you can actually hand the vehicle back.
At any point in time?
At any point. So that actually worked after month 32 for me. So I actually utilised that facility within the HP agreement and literally drove the car in, handed the keys and went, I'm out. Now, one might think, well, you've paid deposit, you've paid your monthly, but I was out. It doesn't give you any blip on your credit sheet. That was it, deal done. Because I got cleared for finance on the next one, on an HP agreement, in a black Boxster, 2.7 engine, 2012. Again, lovely vehicle. Didn't spec it. This was a vehicle that they had in stock, as was the previous Cayman S. And again, each time they've got a stock vehicle, you can definitely get a discount, because remember, they've got them sitting in there ready to go. They
always say they don't give discounts.
Yeah, but they do. They do give a bit off. So I got that black Boxster. Let's actually have a look on that. Now I'd say that was a deal at that time. Now 2012 Boxster with a fair bit on there.
What I'll do, I'll take pictures of these things and put them up later on.
So what we've got is heated seats, full of park assist, wheel centres, 19-inch Boxster alloys, automatically dimming lights, warranty, etc. Sports tailpipes, and that vehicle came at 42,640. Amazing in 2012 to get that for that figure. And I think that reduced, you see there, 5,000 deposit, and that reduced my payments then to about 505 a month to get that vehicle. But I didn't stay with that vehicle. In 2015, I changed to an A-Gate Grey Boxster 2.7. Where we got that one?
Did the previous car come to a natural end, or were you just?
No, I just wanted to move on with it, really. So there's that Boxster, the A-Gate Grey, 65 plate.
Okay.
So we've got park assist, power steering, 20-inch turbo wheels, etc., etc. Sport seats on that one. And that one at 52,000. Again, a Bose, a lot of car.
This is a showroom car, isn't it? So they expect it.
Brand spanking new, but in the showroom, ready to go. So I took that one as well. Probably stepped it up a bit on that one. Probably came to sort of 580, 590 a month again.
How much did you have to put down on this one again?
Probably put about 7,000 down, something like that. Yeah, yeah, there it is. There it is. 580, 36 months, 582 a month. Oh, deposit of 12. Well, 12,000. It's more than what I thought. But obviously it kept the monthly figure at a certain amount. I think actually a reason for that is that was 7.2%. Really, these days now, you can get them down to 4.9. That's a difference as well. On from that, is that car got chopped in, and that's when I ordered the GTS. The GTS.
I'm really interested about this one because I've always wondered to get into a GTS.
Yeah.
You know, you're quite savvy with your kind of pricing and options and so on. So you pretty much ticked everything on the box for that GTS. So
well, I've got an S. I've got some paperwork back at home which is speccing up an S, and then when I specced everything, I actually put the order in for the S, and then the announcement came they were doing a GTS.
Oh, right.
So because I wanted Alcantara, which you can't get when you spec an S, so that made me switch, put that one to bed, and actually it was more or less the same money. So you're getting a GTS with the few bits extra, and by the time I just wanted the Alcantara finished.
So was this the first Porsche that you had which was totally to your spec?
Yes, and not sort of out the dealership. And this paperwork here tells me that the GTS that's for sale is 74,492. There were other costs on that. There was the cost of G-Tech, and there's obviously cost of warranty for the 3 years. Sorry, not the warranty. Well, there's two hits actually. A warranty, they do charge you the extra.
Do they charge you for that on a new car?
Yeah, well, it's on the invoice at the end, at the back end, And then also they charge, then you get charged to take the gap, the Porsche gap insurance.
Yes.
That's another £600. So again, you're still spending another £1,800 above that 74 as a figure. Just for those who'd like to know, so on that 74,492, plus the other £1,800, that was a deposit of £17,000 and payments of £760 a month. Now we're rising, getting a little bit bigger, and that was the experience on that one. And going on then to the fact that my wife didn't like the black Cayman GTS, and I struck a deal on the Boxster. The Boxster paperwork, which is here somewhere, was I got the Boxster for 52,000 because it was a stock item. I did get the APR down. I believe I paid 5,500 deposit, and the payments on that per month are 570 a month on a 3-year deal. Obviously there's future residual values on these, meaning at the end of that period you can either hand back vehicle, or you can buy it, or you can refinance it in what way you like. But what I do find is if I check the actual value of the GTS right now, and I check the value of the Boxster, pound for pound, the Boxster's actually a lot better off. If you're purchasing a 70, whatever it is, 60, 70 grand vehicle, you've got to consider, do you want to put in £15,000 and achieve, for argument's sake, £750 a month, or do you want to put in £6,000 and pay £900 a month? It might be better to consider the £900 a month and not put in the higher figure, because that's happened with the Boxster at the moment. 5,500 in, fairly low, and then the payments were maybe marginally higher. Whereas if I'd put the more deposit in and lowered the monthly, if I look at the value of the Boxster right now, it's hanging in better. But then that will also be party to the fact that I specified the GTS and I got not £1 of discount. The £52,000 Boxster is discounted. Again, it's what fits, as you say, somebody, individuals. It's what way round you want to put in. It's nice to put in a larger deposit because you're reducing your monthly, but it's what works for you.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah. Oh, it's great hearing your story. And Porsche Tunbridge. I mean, Neil's probably too much of a gentleman to say this, but why didn't you give him a GT4? Okay, because 6 cars in, he's been a loyal customer. I did ask him. He went back to the same dealership every time, and to not give him that GT4. And I know there's lots of other sort of people out there, but it just gets me. They're limiting numbers so much, and I think I must have got misled by that statement. As we've said this before, Andreas Prenninger said they learned their mistake with the 981 GT4. They didn't make enough. And if the rumours were still true, it's 3 or 4 cars per dealership. And I think you told me 75 people had their name down at that dealership. For
something
GT4.
like that. And I think what's more the hurtful thing and kind of frustrating thing is, yes, if there's going to be an allocation in October, if there's going to be an allocation in January, if there's going to be an allocation in March, well, surely there's someone somewhere in the dealership who can say, okay, then Mr. Fox is going to get his vehicle from that allocation. How can that not be said? In everything that we do today, whether it's something that you're buying from John Lewis or from Amazon, you're going to get your dates instead of just keeping people swimming in the deep blue
Well, I think
sea.
we want to keep their options open. So let's say someone like one of these Shmee or someone from YouTube turns up to Porsche Tunbridge, I'd like a GT4. They're going to get one straight away. You know that's going to happen because of the publicity. So
Great.
I don't think they want to commit
Great.
now. They want to keep all their options open, you see.
Doesn't make you feel great.
No, it doesn't. I mean, what gets me, you've worked damn hard to get to where you've got to. And when you finally get the money together, you'd like to think you can actually buy what you want.
Yeah.
And it's just not the case.
But even if you're given that date at some point in the forthcoming future, you know, even if it's not today, even if we don't stamp our feet and we get it in the next 3 months, but just this, like I say, I've not had any call, not had any email, there's no correspondence. At this moment, there's no GT4 for me.
And the thing is, you want a manual GT4, don't you?
Yeah.
Because I think the next allocation will be more geared up to the PDKs.
That's right.
Because I think the PDKs,
yeah, the first one's a manual, and the second phase and third phase.
Yeah, the allocations are not. I think they've particularly targeted. We'll get the manuals out of the way first.
Yeah.
We'll do the PDKs in the second allocation.
Yeah. No, it's a great shame. I mean it. It's a great shame that I'm not being given a sound direction on this.
If you've got any questions for Neil, put them down in the comments below. He's had Boxsters, he's had Caymans, he's had Base, he's had S, he's had PDK, he's had manual. So we can pretty much say you've had all of them, okay?
But for the GT4.
Apart from the GT4. Any questions for him on his ownership experience? I'm sure Neil will keep an eye on the comments thread on this. But I think Porsche will always keep the Cayman beneath the 911. So, you know, even though we've got 400 plus brake horsepower in the 718 GT4, it's just comparable to the old one. It's got a bit heavier. They haven't got, you know, the turbos in this. So the power delivery, even though it's got more power on the spec sheet, it's the same 310 pound-feet of torque, and it's a similar 0 to 60. So.
Yeah, they haven't changed it much. As you've said on your previous channels, they arguably haven't done maybe enough to step it up, have they? As Eddie says, you know, would you really chop in your older version for a 718? They've not stood it up enough. Stop playing around.
Well, I think this is because I really believe there's going to be a 718 GT 4 RS.
I believe so as well. I believe so as well. And that's why. Yeah. So maybe I'm going to get a call about that one.
Yeah, so listen, if there's a Porsche dealership that's out there that wants to make good on a loyal Porsche customer, reach out to Neil, all right? He's in the comments below.
Thanks.
Oh, brilliant. It's been a totally enjoyable day. It's been the weather's been fantastic, okay?
Good.
This is what this channel is about. It's having a coffee, talking cars, just, you know, living life and cars to the max. You know, this is the t-shirt I've just got done.
Let me just actually, I've forgotten this, Max. I've got a little something for you for your little bit of time out with me today, which is the least I could do. The least I could do.
No, no way. What's this?
It's your car.
Look at that. Look at that. Oh, look. Oh, man.
Living
you
life
haven't even...
to the max.
This is unreal. Look at the back of this. Look at the back of this. Look. Caymans are forever. Living life to the max. Oh, Neil, mate. You shouldn't have done that. Oh, look at Neil. Thanks very much, man.
Thank you.
This is legendary. I tell you what. This is all you want in life is, you know, normal guys who love their cars, meeting up on a day like this. I'm just so glad you reached out to me, Neil.
Good,
okay?
good. No, thank you.
Because there's a certain thing about thinking about it, and then you go that extra mile, and you just go, yeah, I'm just going to reach out to this guy. And YouTube's a funny thing. You never know who's on the other end of the channel. You know, like, I don't know how I come across on camera. In fact, Neil said I come across like a normal bloke, so I guess that's got to be a good thing.
Very positive.
I haven't got extremely deep pockets. I love what I can afford. And you've summed it up on the back of your t-shirt, okay? Living life to the max, okay? And you certainly are living life to the max.
Thanks.